What's good, everybody? It's been Big Dog coming live naturally, the True Players Podcast, episode late tonight. Later than I wanted to start, but it is what it is, right? Just had to bless you guys. I missed you guys last week with the patented recap of the NFL season of Week 8, but now we have to Week 7. I'm behind now, man. Well, anyway. This is this is going to be sort of a bit of a sad podcast because yesterday morning Nick Mangold passed away due to kidney disease. The Jet All-Pro center, you know what I'm saying? He was diagnosed with the kidney disease back in 2006 when he got drafted. Ironically, he played his entire career with this kidney disease, and he was hoping that it probably would have hit him in his 60s, but instead it hit him in his 40s. He passed away at the age of 41. Great center for the New York Jets. And I mentioned on my previous podcast is about during from 1997 to 2015, the New York Jets had All-Pro center spiking the ball to the quarterback from Kevin Mawai and then straight into Nick Mangold in 2006. So it's bittersweet, but he was a great player. And when he did that, when he posted on Instagram about his plight, what was going on, I was taken aback by it. I was kind of shocked by it because no one knew he had kidney disease. It was chronic, and no one knew he had that. He kept it to himself for all these years until it came close to the time that he needed the transplant to stay alive. And he made a plea with the fans because he didn't have family out there who could provide him with a kidney in order for him to survive. Like I said, it is a sad situation, sad loss, but it definitely inspired the New York Jets, which I will get to later, for their first victory. But let me give you some of the stats. He is survived by his wife and four children. You could hear. I've seen the interview. I've seen Rex Ryan on the pregame show in tears. Willie Colon, initially couldn't, talk because he was so overcome with emotions on this SNY pregame show, and Bart had to hold it down for him. Both guys, Bart Scott, Willie Colon, Rex Ryan, they were all on the team together. Rex Ryan was the head coach. Bart Scott was the mad backer. And Willie Colon was his compadre on the offensive line, which Nick Mangold welcomed with open arms because Willie was let go by the Steelers. And he was looking for a team to go to, and that's what pretty much brought him to the Jets, about how Nick treated him and welcomed him into the Jet family with no judgment, and really enabled Willie Colon. Willie Colon was battling injuries with the Steelers, and then he came to the Jets. He was pretty much healthy throughout his tenure as a New York Jet guard. A lot of guys is saying their well wishes, their rest in peace to Nick Mangold. Darrelle Revis posted something. Damian Woody also mentioned something after the Jet win. So he was definitely a part of that great offensive line the Jets had for a long time, a very long time. So, but Nick Mangold was a 7-time Pro Bowl selection, 2008. From 2000 to 2011, he was Pro Bowler. And then from 2013 to 2015, his final season with the New York Jets was 2015. And made a Pro Bowl in his final season. 2-time All-Pro, first-team All-Pro, 2009 to 2010. Both years with the Jets went to the AFC Championship game. This is big. This is how great this is how great Nick Mangold was. And then he was a All Big Ten national champion in 2002. Represented the Buckeyes, the best way he can. All Pro rookie team in 2006. Can I even say more about Nick Mangold? And a future Hall of Famer in my book. He should have been in the Hall of Fame already. So, but my thoughts, my quick thoughts on Nick Mangold before we go into the recap of the Week 8. It's funny. I didn't meet Nick Mangold. Me and Nick Mangold was in the same Cold Stone. And anybody who's from Long Island, New York, remember the old Cold Stone over there in the Sauce Mall when the Sauce Mall was open? We were all online to get some ice cream, and Nick Mangold was like further behind us. So me and my brother, we looked at him. I was like, "Who's that big, tall, blonde dude there with that female?" And my brother's like, he's like, "No, that's Nick Mangold." I was like, "What? You lying? You lying? No, that's Nick Mangold." So I turned back, looked at him. He looked at me, and from the time we locked eyes, he knew I knew who he was. So I was reading his eyes, like, "Please don't say nothing. Don't say nothing right now. Don't say anything." I said, me and my brother was like, "All right, we communicate with the eyes, but we ain't gonna say shit. Enjoy your Cold Stone with your girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, and go about your way. We ain't gonna have these fans swarm you in Westbury in a small ass Cold Stone store." But that was the life when the Jets was in Hofstra University. That was the life. We ran into them all the time, and I miss that. I really do miss that. Any place, whether it was Taco Bell East Meadow before they moved it over to Hempstead Turnpike, the one on Front Street, not the one they moved to. We used to run into Jet players all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, rest in peace, Nick Mangold. You will be missed by your teammates. By the show of what they said about you, you will be missed by your teammates. But on that note, my condolences to the family, our prayers with his wife and his 4 kids that he left behind. We have to move on to the recap of the New York Giants versus Eagles. Let me tell you something. The Eagles was not going to let the Giants sweep them this season. I'll tell you that right now. If Saquon had anything to say about it, he did have a say about it on the second play when he ran for a 65-yard touchdown. I believe this is his first 100-yard rushing game in the season against the Giants. He ends up finishing off with 150 yards and a score. And then running, and then he caught a touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts. But, the Eagles is trying to prove to everybody why they're the defending world champions. They showed against the Giants. But I must say, that loss the Giants had against the Broncos the week before really hurt them, because that was a game they should have won. They should have won that game. And I understand some people are blaming the coach and the philosophy. Did they get conservative against the Broncos? Yes, they did. They got to be conservative. But for God's sakes, you gotta hit extra points. That was the difference. When you look back on it, despite they blew a big lead in the fourth quarter, they gave up 23 points in the fourth quarter. Your place kicker has to make those extra points. That's supposed to be 3 points, and he missed both of them. And that was the difference in the game. By the end of the day, that was the end of the game according to the scoreboard. So, Barkley did. Let's go back to the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants did drop down to 2-6. Should have been 3. Should have been 3-5. But we won't talk about that, because if we talk about what ifs, the Jets would have been 4 and something right now, 4-3 or 3-4, whatever you want to call them, or 3-5. They should, or 4-4. Who knows? But we're not gonna talk about that. The problem with the Giants in this game, they couldn't stop the run, whether it was Saquon Barkley or Tank Bigsby coming out of the and as support of Saquon Barkley. He also ran for about 104 yards. But there were some issues with the officiating in the game about the tush push. Some officiating, which and inevitably they're gonna end up banning the tush push. You know what I'm saying? The tush push. The game was tied 7-7. You know what I'm saying? Hurts fumbled the ball, which was recovered by Thibodeaux. The referees ruled that the forward progress had stopped before the ball came loose, negating the turnover, giving the Eagles a first down. And then 2 plays later, the Eagles scored a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. Another bad call by the referee was the offensive pass interference. Dariusslayton got a big 68-yard touchdown catch, which was called back because of an offensive pass interference penalty. You know what I'm saying? So, and another miscue by the referees, the missed false start on another tush push. You know, it was a lot. The referees didn't do a good job in this game, but it was up to the Giants to stop that team. They did beat this team a couple of weeks ago with jaxsondart as starting quarterback. The Giants did lose Cam Skattebo due to an ankle injury. I didn't see the play, but it looked like he dislocated his ankle. So he could be out for the rest of the season. We hope he does come back at least sometime before the end of the season to finish it off. You know, bad loss by the Giants. Like I said, they go down 2-6 when they should have been 3-5. Should have been the Broncos. So I'm gonna hit you guys up with the stats. At the end of the game, Saquon Barkley had 14 carries for 150 yards, 1 rushing TD, 1 receiving TD, 2 total TDs. Jalen Hurts played a great game, 50 for 20 for 179 yards, 4 TDs, which included he had 4 carries for 22 yards. Tank Bigsby, 9 carries, 104 yards. And Dallas Goedert was the leading receiver with 3 receptions for 28 yards and 2 receiving TDs. On the Giants side, we had Jaxsondart, who was 14 of 24 for 193 passing yards. 1 passing TD, 1 rushing TD for him. He had a combined 2 TDs as well. I think the Giants have found their franchise quarterback by ways of Ole Miss. A second Ole Miss quarterback is about to be their franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's big. That's big. But it came to me. One thing I want to ask you Giants fans, yo. This is for the Giants fans. Did you believe this was a game was personal between Saquon against the Giants? Do you believe that was it was a personal? You know what I'm saying? The Giants now are going to come back home next week to take out the 49ers. You know, good team, even though they don't have Brock Purdy back yet. Mac Jones is still holding it down, and he's holding it down very well. Probably a quarterback the Jets may look into next season to sign, to be honest with you. But since we're gonna segue into the New York Jets right now, guys, we're gonna talk about the New York Jets. Okay. After learning of the passing of Nick Mangold, this New York Jet team beat a Cincinnati Bengal team that was on its way up. They traded for joeflacco from the Browns to help them salvage a season until Joe Burrow comes back. The Jets was down big in the fourth quarter. But before I get to that point, Aaron Glenn was driving me crazy early in that game while I was having brunch. Driving me nuts. He went for it on fourth down on his own 37-yard line, which drove me nuts. I was like, what the hell this guy's doing? Is he trying to get fired? Granted, he didn't get the fourth down. What happened, I believe Justin Fields checked out of the original play and went to a toss on fourth down, which is a bad move. Especially when you got inches to go, you got to run that ball up the gut, do a quarterback sneak, or do a regular lead dive with the fullback and running back and try to get that first down. you know. But this was the tie of the game, though. This is where Aaron Glenn was going with this. AG was going aggressive throughout the entire game. He was believing in his team to make the big plays. Albeit the defense did not play well this game, but it did make the big plays when it counted to close out the game to get their first win of the season. But a few aggressive coaching moves that Aaron Glenn went to, just making their comeback. They were down. They were down by 16 points in the fourth quarter. 31-16 out. 31-16, I believe the score was in the fourth quarter. And they scored a touchdown that made it. They made the score. The Cincinnati score made it 38-24, down 2 touchdowns. Aaron Glenn goes for 2-point conversion, which I thought he should have just kicked the field goal, go for the tie. But this man was going for the win. This is the first time I've seen this season the coaching staff of the New York Jets playing to win the game, not coaching to not lose it. They went aggressive. Justin Fields had a good game, especially after the week that he had, when Woody Johnson blamed him for the offensive struggles, whether it's unfair or not. I thought it was unfair to a degree. I felt some of it was coaching as well. Some of it was the offensive line. But the offensive line, this game, the bookends, Membo and Fashanu held it down. This is probably the best game together. Tipman, Simpson, Myers held it. I think Myers is the name of the center. Held it down for Justin Fields to give him enough time to throw the ball. He threw the ball 32 times yesterday. 32 times. He was 21 of 32 for 244 yards and a TD. But I have to say, the game ball had to go to breecehall. They were not using him the past 2 games. He got upset about it, and he stepped up big time. 18 carries, 133 yards, 2 TDs. He also had one game-winning passing TD in which he had the pump fake to make that pass to Mason Taylor. You can't say enough about Mason Taylor, though. I think the Jets have found their franchise tight end. Taylor Ekstrand, opened up the offense and trusted his plays to make the plays. Wasn't conservative. He trusted players to make the plays, and they made the plays. That's why they won the game. Now we could play revisionist history and say, yeah, this team should have been like 3-4. They blew the game against the Broncos. They blew the game against the. They should have been the Panthers too. If they had some sort of offense, they should have beaten the Steelers. Which other game am I missing? There was one other game I'm missing. Broncos, Steelers, Panthers. Yeah, they could have 4 wins. There's another game I'm missing, but I'm not. It's too late tonight to me to think about that right now. But this team should have had a better record. It should have taken 8 weeks to get their first win. Should not. But what happens is now you go into the bye week feeling good about yourself. But this is where I'm gonna test the coaching ability of Aaron Glenn, because last few coaches we had here, whether it was Robert Salah, Ulbrich, I don't think he coached him after the bye. I think he did coach him. They had a bye. I think he took over before the bye. Todd Bowles, the teams coming out the bye week always lost. Now the Jets coming off the bye week in week 10 against the Browns, who are also struggling, who don't know who their quarterback is going to be. They're also struggling as well. So this is an opportunity for the Jets to get this week. They got the win this week. Get another win against the Browns. Hey, you got yourself something there. 2-7. I'm not saying they could run the table, but if they could, hey. But I don't think they're going to run the table. Like I was listening to Joe Bedingo this morning on Tiki and Evan. He mentioned the best move they could do is go at least 5-4. 5-4 throughout the season. So that if they go 5-4, they're at least 6-11. Would you Jets fans sign up for this team to go 6-11 to end the season? When we get to the end of the season, would you guys sign up for that? Me, I'm not going to sign up. So I'm not going to sign up for that because I believe they should have more wins. But like I said, they did well. They won the football game finally won a game they had to win. And they got the first win for the head coach. Head coach was being brutalized by the fans. The fans are still calling for his head. Even as he got his first win, he worked on things that the Jets had problems with was the penalties. Again, they only had 4 penalties for 25 yards. They were very disciplined. The only thing is they just get that defense back up to the past 2 weeks where they were playing well against the Broncos and the Panthers. That's the part that needs to come together. This Jet team has not put together a phase where all 3 units were playing well at the same time. They have not put that together. So hopefully with the bye week, they have an opportunity to fix some things, get some guys back healthy, get Garrett Wilson back, get Josh Reynolds back healthy. Maybe Quincy Williams gets another breather. He did come back and help the defense. But everybody's going to get some great rest and come back after the bye week fresh. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The trading deadline is Tuesday. We don't know who's going to stay, who's going to go. There's been rumors about breecehall. There's been rumors about Quincy Williams. There was rumors about Quincy Williams as well. Up for trades. I hope none of those guys get traded because that's our foundation to being a good team. Now, can they get a better quarterback? Yes, they can. But if they can find a way to unlock Justin Fields, give the game that he played this past Sunday. He still hasn't thrown an interception. I don't want to jinx it, but he still has not thrown an interception yet. This is something that you gotta. Can he be a franchise quarterback for the New York Jets? Yes, but he needs to work. What I see when he's playing quarterback is the footwork is off. That's why his passes becoming up wobbly and shaky. His footwork is off. Now, if you could find a coach that can work on his footwork in the pocket and add to his athleticism to be able to run with the football, you could have a very good quarterback in your hands right now. You could have it right now. But the footwork has to be in sync. And that's something the Jets, I think, need to add to the coaching staff next season. A legit quarterback coach. Get someone like Josh McCown to help him. Josh McCown did a hell of a job with resurrecting Sam Darnold's career. You need somebody like that. Me personally, I would prefer to have Chad Pennington. But, I don't think Chad Pennington wants that type of job yet. You don't think Chad Pennington could be a hell of a head coach for somebody. But I think Justin Fields is young enough to fix his career and get back on the ball and be what he was supposed to be when he was drafted number 2 in that draft. I'm sorry, when he was drafted number 3 after Zach Wilson. I do believe he's the better quarterback than Zach Wilson. I truly believe that. I mean, don't get me wrong. ZW has talent, but I don't think where he came from was a good fit for New York. He came from BYU. From Utah to New York was not a good fit. Was not a good fit at all. So, like I said, let's get to the stats now. We got IsaiahDavis really contributed as a number 2 running back for Breecehall. Give him his breather. 7 catches, 65 yards. The Jet offense was 502 yards of total offense. 200 yards between Breece and Isaiah Davis. When you have that, didn't turn the ball over, minimize the penalties. When you play a game like that, you're supposed to win those football games. Just got to tidy up the defense. That's what needs to be done. And Masontaylor, like I said, they found their tight end of the future. Because every time Justinfields gets into trouble, he's looking for his tight end. And that boy will get the jump balls. Shout out to Jason Taylor. His pops. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gotta give a big shout to Jamal Chase was eating up the Jets secondary though. He had 12 catches for 73 yards. He was eating. He was at 12. How many catches did he have? Wait a minute here. 12 receptions for 91 yards. He was eating up that secondary who did not play without Sauce Gardner. Yeah, Michael Carter didn't come back yet, right? These are all the players that just couldn't get back after the bye week healthy. You know what I'm saying? But Jamal Chase was eating them boys up. There were certain coverages that really, the big touchdown pass to T. Higgins, the 43-yarder, I believe in the second quarter, was off the fact that the Jets was legitimately double teaming Jamal Chase, and the coverages rolled over to Jamal Chase, and T. Higgins was 1-on-1 with Azare Thomas. He's a rookie. I get it. But that was a recipe for disaster. They got burned. So, but nevertheless, they got their first win. Congrats to Coach Glenn for getting his first win. Now let's keep it going. Let's get a run going. Why not? You can run off 7 straight. You're 8-7 with the opportunity to be in the playoffs. Stranger things have happened, right? But before I end the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the New York Knicks, who started the season 2-1. 2-1. The offense looks totally different. Looks like everybody seems to be happy because they get an opportunity to play, an opportunity to touch the basketball and contribute in some way, shape, or form to the team. You know what I'm saying? I like how this team is playing, and Jalen Brunson is playing basketball with less stress. Doesn't have to carry the team on his back all the time, even though he tried to carry a team against Miami, which was a failed recipe because that's why they got their first loss. Not because of Jalen Brunson, but they just seemed a step slow yesterday. Seemed a step slow. Probably was early season fatigue. You know how it is. You just come back. You're not in your basketball shape yet. You know what I'm saying? You're playing 12 guys. You're still not in your basketball shape yet for your main guys. So I think you could just chalk it up to that. Just chalk it up to that. But tomorrow they're going to be playing the Bucks on Peacock. Watch that game, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a big game. And this could be a message to be sent to Giannis. Tell the Milwaukee Bucks to trade you. The only thing is, for me, at this stage of the game, am I comfortable trading away Cat to get him? Cat is a unique player that does fit the system that Mike Brown's trying to run. He could be the Domantas Sabonis in this offense, a better version of Domantas Sabonis in Mike Brown's offense than Domantas Sabonis was in Sacramento. Because Cat could pass. Cat could shoot the three. Cat could get rebounds. Cat could do a lot of things. Whenever I say, that's you can't pass up on Greek Freak. I know you can't pass up on Greek Freak, but what's going to be the cost for the Greek Freak? We don't have a DiVincenzo to throw in that trade to make that work. Think about it for a second. In order for the Knicks to get Cat, they had to put in DiVincenzo in that deal with Julius Randle. Who's going to be a Dante DiVincenzo to make this trade happen? Can we do it without trading away Cat? Can we do it? If you don't trade away Cat, then you got to give up Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, who hasn't played yet. He hasn't played in the regular season yet. I'm just big on chemistry. The team is working well together. Keep the team together and wait till February to see what happens. That's my opinion. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the podcast right now. As you see, I'm starting to get a little sleepy here. But I do regret not providing you guys, coming out last week, to provide you guys with a recap of last week. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, anybody's going through stress, depressed, everyone's going through everybody has a depressive period once in their lifetime, whether it's because of death of a family member or anything. We all could go through that. Just remember, in any time when you're feeling depressed and down on your luck, always reach out to somebody. Always reach out to somebody. If you feel somebody who's going through a state of depression, whether you dated them or not, or whether you lost friendship or not, reach out to them. Let them know that you're there for them. You know what I'm saying? Then let them know that they're not alone. Because a lot of people need that. People need support, man. Everyone can say they could live on this earth by themselves, but that's not easy. It's not easy. We all need somebody. It doesn't have to be an intimate situation. You just need a friend, a real friend, not somebody who's going to take your pain and listen to you and when the minute you get to an argument, they throw it in your face, or they vent to you and they go tell everybody under the moon, sun, moon, and stars about your business. You don't want that either. You want a friend that you can vent to them that it's between you and them. A-B conversation. There's no see your ass out of the conversation. So on that note, definitely check out my podcast on YouTube at True Players Podcast. Listen to me on Spotify. Keep supporting the podcast. I need to get my subscribers up to 100 on YouTube. Tell your friends about the podcast. Help me get to 100 subscribers. My goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Help me get there, guys. Help me get there. So on that note, it's been Big Dom. We're going to sign off on this podcast. I may have a special podcast for you guys later this week, but we'll see what happens. But like I said, stay true to yourself. If you're down, reach out to somebody. If you know your friend is down, reach out to them. You never know, that could save their life. Or that could bring a sunshine to their face or a smile to their face. Always reach out. Never shut anybody out. All right? So, man, Big Dom, sign off on this podcast. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.